it's Micah Premium Crickets, and we've got Robert Johnson talking about how to set up your cage initially after you receive it.
Yeah, pretty simple. Like we talked in earlier clips, your bearded dragon needs a gradient between a basking area. Pretty simple thing to use here, and this is the heat source for his basking here on the back of the cage. It's adjustable up and down or left and right. You put your basking platform in front of it. Mike's using a temperature probe here to adjust his distance to get the right temperature. Once you get that set, you're pretty much ready to go. You need to get you a 10.0 UVB bulb. This is a standard 36-inch cage, so it's going to require an 18-inch UVB bulb. I'd go ahead and get a 10.0 so it'll cover the whole entire cage while he's in there. Just some cosmetic stuff, veggie bowl. We got some veggies going. This is the right size for the dragon, and he's ready to go. He decides that he wants to be about in the middle, and that's pretty much the norm for these guys. After it's in the afternoon, he's already done his morning feeding. He's already basked, so he's decided he wants to be in the middle of the cage.
So the heat is to the right.
He's to the right where the basking area is.
And the basking area is after he feeds, he'll sit right up on that wooden log right there and then
his food.
Soak in all the heat. Now after he's done eating, he's going to move over to the left a little bit, and if you can see those vents that are on the side, that actually allows some of the hot air to escape out of there to
create to the level of the dragon. Yeah.
Right, to create a cool area. Now I think you said that the veggies are going on the left-hand side.
Yeah, we keep our veggies on the cool side because the heat tends to make them dehydrate. That's where he gets his moisture. Most of his moisture comes from his veggies. So we always put them on the cool side of the cage toward the front. And you can decorate these cages. You can get cork bark. You can use rock here instead of the bark type. You can put grape wood is a pretty substrate. You can build all kinds of stuff in this cage for him to climb on. They do climb in their natural habitat. They're seen on top of fence posts, on top of old crates. They'll climb up on rocks. Dragons have been recorded on a rock at 140 degrees. He won't stay there long, but that gives you an indication that they like to bask. They like to bask warm, even those extreme temperatures. So he's got everything he needs basically to keep him happy in this cage.
All right. Now, as I go down here, I see some timers, which is what I set up, so I don't have to automatically turn this on and off. Yeah,
just like us. We know the sun's going to come up at a certain time of the day and the sun's going to come down. You're going to emulate that with a timer here. So he's like, okay, it's daylight.
These timers are only like $5, $6. I got them from Walmart.
Exactly. So you just put a simple timer and plug your lights up to it. You can actually use 2 timers if you wanted to.
That's what I did.
Alter your basking area and alter your UVB production. It's a good idea to leave this baby on all day. While he's in there, you can actually let him have about 3 hours of this after he feeds and shut this light off in the middle of the day. Save yourself some energy because in their natural habitat, he basks and he goes into a shady area the rest of the day. You'll notice he'll be in the shady area of his cage. As long as the cage is in the lower 80s throughout the day, he's fine.
So I keep the UVB light on 12 hours a day.
Yes, sir.
And then the heat, it's actually, I got 2 3-hour segments.
Yeah, if you do 2 feedings a day, which normally most people do because they work full-time jobs, you'll feed them in the morning before you go to work, and then you'll feed them in the afternoon when you get home from work. Have the light come on about 30 minutes to an hour before you feed them. You can do that with a timer. So while you're driving in traffic home from work, you got a timer doing the job for you. It's going to warm him up by the time you get there. You want to feed him when you get there, you can feed him immediately. Now let him sit under a basking area for about 3 hours after that, and he'll be fine. And then
turn it off.
Set your timer up to where he's He's got about 12 hours a day.
And when it goes off, he is right under that wooden log right there, and that's where he just sits
just
until...
like he's going to get into a cave or cavern or a hole where he come from, and he'll just sit there and chill out at night. He just flattens out and then he goes to sleep in the dark. Immediately, almost.
Pretty much it. There you go. Okay. So, anything else about setting up your cage?
Well, you know, we have a lot of these cages. Of course, we clean them on the spot. If you have one or two, you want to take them outside, clean them. These doors are easy to remove. You just push up, pull out. Okay, you got your doors off. You clean those with soapy water, Windex, whatever you want to clean those with. Take this, when we use our substrate, is sand and wheat bran combination, we take a shovel and we'll shovel out this sand once a month. That's to get, even though you've collected the poop every day or so that he uses the bathroom, you want to get the remaining uric acid left in the sand. So you tend to smell it before you see it, but go ahead and scoop out the sand. You can actually take this fixture outside and shoot it down with a water hose. And nothing, it's chemically welded. It's not an adhesive. It's a chemically weld joint. So this plastic is made into itself on all these joints. You can fill this thing full of water, clean it with a water hose, bring it back in. Just take your light bulbs out before you do it because they're still hot. And if you do spray it with water, you tend to blow this one. So just pull your light bulbs out, take them outside. This is an electronic ballast, not an old tar type ballast they used to make fluorescence out of. It's electronic. Just don't spray directly on the light. Just basically this cage gets dirty down here. So just don't spray directly on that light and you'll be fine. You can clean it with a water hose. Everything's made out of ABS and acrylic.
And it's extremely lightweight.
Oh, yes.
That's the nice thing about this cage. And for people who order multiple cages, you have a stacking mechanism for them?
We have stacking tabs on the back of the counters of the cages. So basically they'll just set the cage on top. This will even out the cage. The front will even out. This will even out the cage, and then they'll line right up in the stack. This locks them together. So from the sides, if you did have a stack of these cages, easily accessible from the side, just pull the tabs out. Cages will come off of each other and take them outside, wash them.
Good. Yeah. Anything about the tracks? Don't really have a picture of it. But
the tracks designed, I know.
There we go.
I've seen cages with tracks that basically go all the way to the sidewall. And
yeah.
A lot of dragons sometimes, especially males, they'll come up here. They'll have substrate on their feet. They'll try to get through the glass, and it'll drop down in the tracks. Okay. And then you'll get a track full of sand or a track full of wheat bran and sand. Well, we found out by ending our track prematurely before the sidewalls would give that substrate a way to go to escape the track. You'll still have substrate, but it won't be so that it would be jammed up in this corner. Eventually your door wouldn't be able to close all the way. So we found that to work pretty good. So we end our tracks prematurely before the sidewall.
Well, we got the phone call in there. It always rings here at Premium Crickets.
We can do that again.
Yeah. All right.